go to the post and then come back out on the corner. But Al Harris, he had the angle on that. And if Matt Hasselbeck had not thrown this ball high, good chance that ball was going to be intercepted and going 90-some yards the other way.
But Hasselbeck is so trustworthy in the red zone. 33 touchdowns, only 1 interception, one of the best ratios in the NFL.
Alexander. So on 2nd and goal, they go back to the run, and Alexander is brought down just shy of the 5. It's 3rd and goal.
Cledius Hunt is a guy that really had to be better than what he was at the beginning of the season. That's their quickness, their speed side, their pressure side. But probably the best thing that happened to Cledius Hunt was also when they signed Grady Jackson. Gave him a chance. Jackson got some push. The speed guys were able to get there around the corner. Let's see if they can get there now.
Only a 3-man rush. Hasselbeck fires. It is caught on a deflection. Hutchinson ends up with the catch. It's a legal catch. It's going to bring up 4th and goal as they mark Hutchinson down just shy of the goal line. Hannibal Navy's had it thrown right into his chest. You can't blame the guy for not coming up with the interception, but Seattle ends up with a completion to Hutchinson.
Well, they motion down and they go to the trip set, and he's got him right here. And the receiver, Bobby Ingram, keeps moving out of the window. Matt Hasselbeck tries to fire it in there, doesn't see Navy's, and that's why the ball is deflected up in the air.
They're going to go for it on 4th and goal. Alexander is in for the score. So let's say this, without that play by Hutchinson,
oh my goodness,
he gets the ball to the 1-foot line. Without the play, they're kicking a field goal. With it, they go for it on 4th down and get what could be the tying score.
I mean, how heads up a play is this for an offensive lineman? He's blocking, he sees the ball, he has the presence of mind to come and get this thing and keep his team alive in this game. Matt Hasselbeck was telling us last night that this guy is probably the smartest guy on the team. He can take a New York Times crossword puzzle and do it in about 10 minutes. Paid off for him there.
He's got the best hands on the team, too.
At least today. It's 13-13. Going for it on 4th down. Alexander is in, almost untouched. And we're tied at Green Bay.
There we were planning our vacation online. That's when the pain started.
Digititis is a repetitive stress injury, just like carpal tunnel syndrome, except different.
Basically, it feels like a fleshy fireball on the end of my hand.
We're seeing an explosion of this with all the double clicking that's going on. If we catch this early, we can help.
Searching for a great airfare online doesn't have to be a pain. Just go to southwest.com for our $39 to $99 internet specials when you purchase by January 19th.
You're now free to move about the country.
It's not trail rated, it's not a Jeep 4x4.
Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat.
Hey, Brett.
Nor temporary loss of gravity, nor grumpy robots made of old washing machines, nor black holes that swallow the entire known universe will keep the U.S. Postal Service from its appointed rounds. HP technology helps make sure the mail never stops. HP, invent.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
This NFC wildcard game on Fox is brought to you by Jeep. If it's not trail rated, it's not a Jeep 4x4.
Welcome back to Green Bay. When the Packers made the trade with Seattle to trade up and get Jamal Reynolds, who has made virtually no impact defensively for Green Bay, Seattle ended up with a number 17 pick, 2001, and the guy they got was Hutchinson. He just made a huge catch down near the goal line to set up the touchdown on the deflection off Navy's. And here's a pretty good return by Najee Davenport as he pushes it out to the 33. Hutchinson getting congratulations over on the sideline. His catch led to the touchdown, which leads to a 13-13 tie.
Oh, Cedric, this is perfect.
Yeah, just you, me, and 6 of our best friends.
Ooh.
You know, I feel so good. I could just...
Oh, Cedric, I love when you dance.
I got a fire in my pants, girl.
Ooh, Cedric.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Cedric! Cedric!
Hey, Racer, fancy new boots.
Gracias. I just buy them on my new credit card. It has this amazing low rate.
Really? But does that rate stay low like my Capital One No Hassle card?
Yeah. It stays low? What is going to happen to my rate?
Get the Capital One No Hassle card with a rate that starts low and stays low. Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
See, aren't you glad I drove my new Pacifica? It can fit 6, you know? The all-wheel drive's awesome in the snow, and it's got a 5-star crash test rating. Unlike some people we know.
Very funny.
Yeah, too bad he doesn't have the capability of the Pacifica.
During the Chrysler year-end sales drive, go well beyond the SUV with 0% financing for 60 months or a $3,000 cash allowance on Pacifica. Plus, get our 770 powertrain limited warranty. But there are only a few days left, so hurry in today.
One word from you and I'm a dead man.
24 starts out the new year with a shock.
Another buyer's interested in the virus.
When an adversary from Jack Bauer's past comes back to haunt him.
Don't do this!
An all-new 24, 9/8 Central Fox Tuesday.
Kind of actually a disturbing sight here. Hide the kids. As we look at that hat.
The skunk hat.
The skunk hat.
You notice he doesn't have a date.
The guy's muskrat hat was at the dry cleaner, so he went skunk today. It's 13-13, and Amon Green is brought down by D.D. Lewis. And we look at the day for Brett Favre through the air, and I guess the numbers make you think of those Hail Marys and jump balls he's throwing up down the field.
Yeah, I think this is the real difference right here. You look at this bottom line here, 20+ yards on 4 out of 5 completions, and that's been what has set up the points for this Green Bay offense.
You know, that could have been even better, too, if David Martin had made that one catch where he jumped too early. I mean, he could have been 5 for 5.
8:45 and counting left in this third quarter. Favre keeps it. And now fires. Pass complete. That's Javon Walker.
Well, Brett Favre is just tearing this thing up off of play action. Even though Amon Green doesn't have a lot of yardage running the football so far in this game, the play action is destroying Seattle. In the first half, Favre was 8 for 11 for 112 yards and a touchdown off the play action. He comes right back to start the second half the exact same way.
Why is it all the greats have their tongue hanging out when they're about to do something fantastic? Like Jordan get ready for a jump shot or a slam. Favre's got his tongue hanging out, making completions over the middle as Amon Green's trying to break free. Ends up with a nice gain. It could have been better if not for the tackle of Marcus Trufant.
League will call that taunting at some point, Joe, if they're not careful.
Your tongue out?
You know, if you look at to go back to the play that Javon Walker made in these wide receivers, I mean, they've really had a good year collectively. Individually, none of those guys really steps out and captures the attention around the league. And I thought it was interesting that Brett Favre got those guys together this week, and he wanted them to know how much he appreciated the unselfishness that they have shown all season long in being team players, because they really have been unselfish, just gone out and done their jobs.
Play action again. 2nd down and 5. Favre floats it. Amon Green. What a play, getting back to break it up. Damian Robinson. He was beaten on the play. The ball hung up a little bit, and Robinson was there to break it apart.
And Brett Favre almost got his head taken off at the end of this throw. He is just not going to see the defensive end looping all the way around the play, and Chike Kiefer just drills him right in the back of the ribs, and you just wonder if that one might have a little bit of a lasting impact on Brett.
3rd and 5.
And you got the back end of it, and again, Ken Lucas on the back end, and they had a chance there to come up with a big play with Amon Green on that play.
3rd down and 5. Favre sets up and fires incomplete. Favre is screaming for a flag and won't get it. Freeman was the intended receiver.
You just wonder if this is a byproduct of what Mike Holmgren was telling us. He really felt like the 2 cornerbacks for the Packers were guys that held a lot during the course of the game. So he was going to tell the officials before the game, you tell me, if we're going to allow them to hold and to grab and to pull and to do all those things, I'm going to tell my guys to do the exact same thing out there. And I think what the officials are essentially doing is just letting them play.
Bidwell has not been good today, downing it inside the 20. He takes something off this kick and it goes backward. So the crowd is on Bidwell, the punter, as the ball will be down to the 23, only a 20-yard punt. Brett Favre's getting into it. I'm sure you are as well. 13-13, 3rd quarter.
I said, Joe, think of the family. It's comfortable. It's not too big, not too small. It's got a DVD. End of discussion.
I said, Liz, we need a man's SUV. I mean, this thing tows like a son of a gun, and it's got a Hemi. Done deal.
The all-new Durango. Big size, smooth ride, Hemi power.
And Joe completely understood.
Liz finally saw it my way. Soda?
The all-new Dodge Durango, starting under $26,600.
In 2003, you were 15 pounds lighter and about 2 inches slimmer. Now, there are only 5 words to describe how you feel.
Honey! Where are my sweats?
Want to eat better? Wendy's small chili, side salad with fat-free French and a plain baked potato all together have just 5 grams of fat. It's our 05 and 04 plan.
Where's my wallet?
It's in your jeans.
Wendy's 99-cent super value menu. It's better here. And remember, you can eat great even late.
So, Dan, do we have everything we need for this meeting?
It's all right here, sir.
Is your data backup as reliable as it should be?
Don't worry, sir. He told me everything.
Ours is Storage Software Solutions from Computer Associates.
This family's future son-in-law,
and we are getting married in 3 days,
is going to become their worst nightmare.
I can't wait to get your daughter in bed.
Thanks to Fox, my big, fat, obnoxious fiancé.
Got a naked dance for Randy. People say I got a nice butt, despite what you might think.
The con begins Monday, January 19th on Fox.
Mike Holmgren continued to work Bernie Kukar during the break. Talking, I'm sure, about what you spoke of, Chris, that hand play and the holding with cornerbacks and wide receivers as Alexander takes the handoff, runs left, and picks up nada. Hannibal Navy's on the stop. On that last possession, Matt Hasselbeck with Mealy, Jackson, and then, of course, Steve Hutchinson, the great hands of Hutchinson, was 5 for 6 on that drive for 64 yards. And on 4th down, the 1-yard touchdown run by Sean Alexander tied it. To this side of the field, Ingram out to the 29, 2 yards shy of a first down. 3rd down coming up.
They're working Bobby Ingram pretty good in there against Darren Sharper. Sharper is one of those guys, sort of a multi-talented safety. They will let him play the slot receiver in one-on-one situations when they blitz. That time the Packers tried to bring some pressure, but every time they have, Ingram's been able to make a play against Sharper.
Sharper, a former cornerback. Leroy Butler was here. 3rd and 4. Hasselbeck sets up quickly, finds Ingram. And Ingram is out to the 45-yard line.
You know, we haven't said much about Kabir Bajabia-Miller today, and he's been working both sides. On this play, he's working against Chris Terry, the right tackle, and both Chris Terry and Walter Jones have really done a nice job all day neutralizing the pass rush of KGB.
Terry suspended early this season, as we said, did not play in the first game. Matt Hill did. What a difference Terry makes. First down, Seattle. Maurice Morris running right. Popped out of bounds after a gain of 3.
You know, Morris is a guy that hasn't been able to come up with a couple of passes today, but running the football, he's been outstanding, and that's what he does. But he has averaged 6.3 yards per carry this year, and that's better than any of the top backs you want to name anywhere in the National Football League. Now, he doesn't get that many carries, but he has really been an explosive factor getting to the outside and giving them that presence.
Yeah, I think the big question on him is, can he be durable enough to carry the whole load? And that's why they have spot played him.
Second down and 7. Hasselbeck slips, still gets rid of it, and completes it to Robinson. Corin Robinson. Forced out of bounds near the 20. They'll mark him at the 19.
You got Hasselbeck running over to the sidelines, but what a great job Matt Hasselbeck does trying to get the dirt and the mud and everything else off the cleats. That's why he slipped in the pocket, but boy, what great presence to be able to not only get up after he's there, but then to find the receiver and get the ball into his hands.
I think Brett Favre would be proud of that one right there, to throw one from your knees, to have the presence, to keep your eyes up the field and find Corin Robinson. And you see some of the playmaking ability now, not only of Hasselbeck, but of Corin Robinson as well.
Hasselbeck again under pressure. Smith couldn't get to him, and that is just thrown away. It was beyond the line of scrimmage. He was outside the pocket, so no intentional grounding.
And Matt Hasselbeck has to be careful, because the one thing the Seahawks do is give up a lot of sacks. And I'm beginning to think one of the reasons they give up a lot of sacks is that he does hang in there, and he wants to try and hold this thing and hold it and try and make a play. But sooner or later, KGB or somebody's going to come around that corner and knock that ball out of his hands. He has really been taking some chances with the football.
Well, that's a great job on that play there, though, being able to get back around and get rid of the football and avoid taking the big sack.
Second down and 10. Pass is complete again to Atula Mili, and Mili gets 8.
I'll tell you what, this Atula Mili is doing a heck of a job running some routes, and they've always known that he could be a good player for this team. He was just trying to get him to stay focused, but you watch him and he sits it down, he turns, he knows where the defenders are coming from, and you can tell by watching him and Matt Hasselbeck, they have tremendous chemistry. And right now, Matt Hasselbeck has done a great job this entire game of not making the mistake throwing the football. He's protected it very well.
Third down and 2. The pass is complete to Jackson. He's forced out of bounds with another Seattle first down.
And this is turning into what Brett Favre did to Seattle the first time they met. They've come out here in the second half, and the Packers haven't come close to stopping Seattle.
Well, I think you've got to look at what Seattle offensively has done on third downs. They're converting 45%. I talked about it a little bit earlier in this game. They led the league this season converting on third down, and they've been able to keep drives alive again here today, converting some big third down plays.
First and goal, the ball at the 5. Pass is complete. Mili trying to reach for the end zone is going to be brought down at the 1.
You talked about Mili, and they drafted Jeremy Stevens with the #1 pick in 2002, and everybody just assumed that the job was going to be his eventually. And Atula Mili, especially for about the past month and a half, has just been one of the most dominant tight ends in the game, making big catch after big catch. And you can tell he's a guy that likes the big game, that he likes the big moments.
How about a guy who grew up Hawaii, playing the way he's playing on this kind of a day in Green Bay? Second down and goal. A frigid day. Hasselbeck looking, end zone incomplete. And again, it was the tight end, the intended receiver.
Well, that's what we used to always see from Mike Holmgren when he was coaching here in Green Bay. You get down there on the goal line, and he loves the play-action pass down there from the 1-yard line, and that's what he comes with here with Matt Hasselbeck. Get him out on the edge, give him a run-throw option. Just nothing there to get rid of the ball, too.
I'll tell you what, though, I think this is 4-down territory. I would pound it off that left side 2 times if I had to.
Alexander. No signal, and now touchdown Seattle. Sean Alexander is in, and at the moment it's 13 unanswered points here in the second half for the Seattle Seahawks.
Just such a powerful group over there on that left side. Walter Jones, the Pro Bowler, Steve Hutchinson, the part-time wide receiver, but they really have the great ability to get the push. And now both touchdown runs by Alexander, both to that side. Everybody knows that's where they're going, and yet they're still able to get it in.
It's a 7-point lead. Mike Sherman. He and the Packers were dunked in the first round last year. In trouble today with Seattle visiting, now down by 7.
He's calculated the odds.
Oh, whoa, whoa. What? You don't eat mixed nuts at a bar. Only 1 out of every 6 people wash their hands when they go to the bathroom.
He's analyzed the risks.
Base jumping.
It's one of the most dangerous activities a human being can do.
Have you done it?
But on January 16th, the most cautious man on earth will experience something he's never felt before.
Oh.
Along came Polly, rated PG-13.
I'm wanted in 4 states, but it's all good. Got me new driver's license and a sweet new pickup. V8, baby, 500 horsepower. Oh, and 4 of them mud flaps with the naked ladies on them. Mamacita. And the best part is, it's all free. Yeah, well, for me at least.
Introducing City Identity Theft Solutions. Free with any City card. Help getting your life back? That's using your card wisely.
Ma'am, you may want to take cover. We've had some reports of wild animals in the area.
Ooh, my. Come on, Donnie.
Wild animals? Where?
Let's get out of here, lady.
The anniversary edition Dodge Caravan, featuring a no extra charge rear seat video system.
Thanks, officer. Keep up the good work.
Disney's The Lion King special edition on DVD and in Dodge Caravan. Now get 0% financing for 72 months plus a $500 in DVD coupon on Dodge Caravan.
This NFC wildcard game on Fox is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. By City Cards. And by Sprint, proudly offering picture mail and PCS Vision picture phones.
Come in talking about a couple of great running backs in Amon Green and, of course, Sean Alexander. Both are under 50 yards for the day, but Alexander's been in the end zone twice. That's Lucci, the backup fullback, returning the ball all the way out near the 38-yard line. So Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers now find themselves down by 7. Under 2 to play in this third quarter at Lambeau.
Sometimes in the face of insurmountable odds, unlikely heroes are born. As precious seconds ticked away, you took an impossible amount of data and turned it into something impossibly good. You have the new Microsoft Office system. Victory is yours.
What? You're no longer the wingmaster?
KFC Honey Barbecue Wings, sauciest around. 7 for $2.99, 20 for $7.99. To get the taste on your face, go KFC.
Underworld on DVD.
I am a death dealer, sworn to destroy the light ones.
When the battle begins, which side will you choose? Buy it Tuesday on DVD.
At Miller, we brew great tasting beer because you can get in line and take what they give you, or you can make your own choice. Miller, good call.
And this isn't even real snow.
Adam Vinatieri, kick up on the way. It is goal!
This NFC wildcard game on Fox is brought to you by Microsoft. Your potential, our passion.
Matt Hasselbeck is 11 out of 14 for 136 yards in this second half. He was making good throws in the first half, but guys weren't making catches for him. Different this second half, and you look at ball control, dominated by Seattle, and Favre will fire and find his fullback Henderson, who is out inches shy of the 45-yard line, a gain of 5.
You know, despite the fact that Amon Green has really been a non-factor in this game, I think you have to be careful to get away from him at this moment in the game, because typically running backs, and especially a running back like Amon Green and this great offensive line, they can take over late in a ball game. So don't forget about the guy that got
you here. Here is that guy that got him here. And Green is out to the 47. About 2.5 yards shy of a first down.
But it really is surprising how dominant the Seattle Seahawks have been defensively in stopping him. Even with Chad Brown out of the ball game and Chike O'Keefer with the sprained ankle, these guys up front, Randall Godfrey and Anthony Simmons, has played a terrific game. They haven't been able to get those big gouge plays that they typically get in the running game.
Third down and a short 3 yards. Looking left all the way and then back over the middle, and what a catch for a first down by Driver. Perfect throw and maybe an even better catch from Donald Driver.
I think Brett Favre put that pass the only place that he could put it. See Driver there on the inside slot. And
wow. Do you know how hard that catch is right there with those cold balls and Brett Favre humming lasers in there, and and the guy trying to rip it out of your hands, he gets his hands right on the ball, and somehow Donald Driver still pulls that thing in. That guy, just a terrific football player.
You can see that awkward tackle by Springs, and he is left flat on his back and getting attention from the training staff of the Seahawks. Troy, you like to throw better, didn't you?
Well, I didn't want to say it, but yeah, I mean, obviously he doesn't realize how difficult that throw was.
February 22nd, the world's best drivers return to Fox for the Subway 400 at The Rock. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart lead the field for 17 weeks of high-speed thrills and excitement when NASCAR returns February 22nd with the Subway 400 right here on Fox. 23 seconds remaining in this third quarter, and Sean Springs, who's been playing better and better as the season has worn on, an unrestricted free agent to be, former Pro Bowler, is down, and it looks like they're looking at the left leg, kind of bent over backward on that tackle of Driver when he picked up the first down.
Well, he and Ken Lucas have really been manning that one cornerback slot since Marcus Trufant has established himself as a starter on the other side. So I don't think it's going to be a huge drop off, but certainly when you begin to get into the nickel packages and getting 4 and 5 defensive backs and corners on the field, that's when you'll start to feel it.
Now the clock will wind. 23 seconds remaining. And so the Packers, if they were to choose, could let the third quarter expire. Looks like they're willing to try it on first down, headed in this direction. Play action. Over the middle. Amon Green. A stiff arm and a first down.
You know, the one thing we have not hit on with Amon Green so far today is the fact the only knock on this guy was his fumbles. And early in the season, he had some real problems with that. Had 7 fumbles in the first 9 games, lost 5 of them. But since then, he hasn't fumbled at all, not one time over the last 5 or 6 games, and the Packers have taken off.
And every Packer fan unites in saying, Chris, thanks for the kiss of death. End of the third quarter here at Lambeau. Seattle up by 7. Back after this from your local Fox station.
You are watching the NFC Wildcard Game on Fox.
This year, the Infinity event of the season is by invitation only. The good news is this is your invitation and your chance to test drive the best selection of new Infinities, like the exhilarating G35 sedan or the highly advanced Infinity FX, the vehicle that puts the sport in sport utility. See your Infinity dealer for attractive lease and APR finance rates. But don't wait too long. The Infinity event of the season ends January 5th.
Good night, baby.
Good night, honey.
Sweetie, you want me to be happy, right?
Of course I do.
You know I love your burgers, but just for a change, could you make a chicken monster taco for me? Please? You know, like your beef monster taco, but made with delicious chicken instead.
Consider it done. Honey, you want me to be happy, right?
Fox 26 Morning News, Houston's only 4-hour all-local morning news.
The get-up that many would be envious of on a day like this. I know I am. That animal. Now let's just move on. First down for Green Bay inside the Seattle 30. Down by 7. What a second half it's been for the Seahawks. Favre to Amon Green. You may shut this guy down, Troy, in the running game, but those little dump-off passes and getting him the ball in open space can be just as deadly if you're the Seahawks.
Well, there's no question, particularly because they've had success getting the ball vertically down the field. Linebackers are aware of that, so they're getting deeper drops. It then opens things up underneath for Amon Green. He was not as big a receiving threat for the Packers this season relative to previous years, but he obviously can catch the ball and do something with it afterwards.
Second down and 4, and they run it with Davenport. He gets to the 20. A yard shy of a first down. The game summary today, Matt Hasselbeck, who came on the air talking about Mr. August, the former backup to Brett Favre, and a guy who really idolizes Favre, has had that sort of a day. Brett Favre, 243 yards through the air, a touchdown throw to Franks. But Sean Alexander has plowed into the end zone 2 times in the second half, and Seattle's up 7.
Kevin Berry back in the game with that tight end position, their tackle. This is their power running formation.
And it's Davenport, the tailback, and it's Davenport with a first down. Wow, carrying the pile down to the 11.
You know, you get Najee Davenport in that situation, 3rd and short. He's such a good change-up back relative to Amon Green. He's a big back, 245 pounds, and can run downhill. And he's a great guy to bring in those situations. I mean, even if there's contact at the line of scrimmage, he's able to move people and pick up the necessary yardage.
A word on Sean Springs, a knee sprain. He is expected to return. Green. Still working down to the 10.
It's a great play by D.D. Lewis coming in and taking out Nick Lucci, the fullback, and just creating a pile. Sometimes on defense they talk about creating a pile so there's nowhere to run the football. And that time Lewis just came in and just cut the legs right out from underneath Lucci, and there was nowhere to go.
That's what that defensive line's been trying to do all day long for Seattle is, you know, rather than getting up, just trying to stay low and clog the lanes. And sometimes that's just as effective as beating your man.
Packers can get a first down without getting the ball into the end zone. Double pass, Fisher. Down inside the 5, very close to the 3, and about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards shy of a first down.
Been a great play for Green Bay. Remember them running that in Tampa Bay earlier this season for the touchdown? Bringing a guy like Fisher in, and he really is a receiver, but there's so much going on. You get David Martin in motion, and he now is going to lead the way. It essentially just turns into a running play.
Would you believe if it was 2-down territory the other way?
Oh, yeah.
Looking for a first down, if not a touchdown, the Packers will have 2 cracks at it here. Amon Green. Depends on the spot.
If he didn't make that first down, that would be the first time this season in a 3rd-and-1 situation that Amon Green did not pick up the first down.
Yeah, and he did not make it, Chris.
It is 4th down.
They're not even going to come out with a measurement right now.
So now if you're Mike Holmgren, do you lose a little faith in what has been your bread and butter all season long, which is simply overpowering people at the point of attack? Do you still have the faith in Amon Green in this short yardage situation to try it again? I say yes. I think you have to go back to what got you here.
Well, they got the big package in, so you've got to believe run.
Green running left. Amon Green fights for it. He has a first down. No touchdown, but a first down just inside the 1.
Yeah, and Randall Godfrey, he was there to make the play, and if he had been able to make the tackle at the point of contact, they would not have been able to pick up this first down. You're going to see Godfrey there scraping. No lineman's able to get out on him. He had a clean run there at Amon Green, and he's just got to square him up and get him to the ground. Easier said than done, but you've got to make that play in a play game.
That was some run by Amon Green. His idol is Walter Payton, and Walter Payton would be proud of that one.
Now he tries the other side, and no signal yet. They're going to mark him down. Now they say touchdown. Touchdown, Green Bay. A moment of agony for Mike Sherman and the Packers, thinking that he got in the late call, and it's 6 points.
Got the 2 blocking backs in the backfield, and they get the ball in his hands, and at the last minute he's just barely able to cross the goal line for the touchdown.
We talked about it. You don't get away from what got you here, and this guy is the reason they're in the playoffs. Amon Green's been getting it done all season.
Tie game. 10:01 remaining. Green tried the left side and got the first down, came back over the right side and got the touchdown. The Packers and Mike Sherman celebrate. We're tied again at Lambeau.
So just when I'm thinking, isn't there a car out there I could get excited about? Wham! There's this car with all this stuff. Then as I'm thinking, now here's a car I could see myself in. Wham! There's this other car with all this stuff. And just as I'm thinking, how could this possibly get any sweeter?
The all-new Mazda 3 and Mazda 3 5-door. Rethink what's possible.
I got it, Coach Gruden. Hey, looks like you're parked a little close here. You think I could get some tickets to the game?
What do you think? If you're trying to get tickets to the game, use your Visa card. Proud sponsor of the NFL.
Here we go.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
This NFC wildcard game on Fox is brought to you by Mazda. There's a soul of a sports car in everything we make. By Circuit City, we're with you. By Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. And by Subway, good so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh.
a good one here at Lambeau Field. The biggest favorite of the weekend, the Green Bay Packers, were moments ago trailing by 7. Now it's 20-20 with 10:01 to go. And Longwell does his best. Carter from inside the 15. Carter is out just across the 30. Amon Green, Najee Davenport, 2 big parts of this running game. Celebrate that last score. Tied at 20.
And if you're considering a larger digital TV, this is a nice 51-inch Sony. Check it out.
Now, come on. Really check it out.
Oh, yeah. The one you want. From widescreen to plasma, we've got the digital TV that's right for you. In fact, we've sold more than anyone else. Circuit City, we're with you.
What are you doing?
Shopping.
The praise that Mazda 6 has received for applying sports car engineering to a sedan will appeal to all sorts of people. For the safety conscious, the highest government safety rating. For the consumer-minded, the highest-rated midsize sedan among owners, and 50 international awards. For the speed readers, the Mazda 6. Get 0.0% APR financing for 5 years plus no monthly payments due until June 2004 or $2,500 cash back on selected 2003 Mazda 6 models.
A change might be all you need to stay in a game. If what you're doing now isn't working, do what I did. Talk to your doctor about Levitra.
Ask your doctor if a free sample is right for you. Levitra, stay in the game.
Donald Driver is an active United Way volunteer, especially in a program that brings pets to seniors.
Hey, son, how you doing?
It doesn't matter that he's a Packer in a Packer-crazy town.
Look, it's Nitsky.
What matters is that everyone feels good about themselves.
Now, I used to have 15 cats. Bart, after Bart Starr. Vince, after Coach Lombardi.
How about Donald?
Yes, Donald. He was wonderful. After Don Hudson, the greatest Packer of them all.
You don't have to be Donald Driver to make a difference in your community.
There is no greater scene for football than Lambeau Field with the elements, and the elements are strong today. It is cold, windy. Mike Holmgren, the former Packer coach, is back. Matt Hasselbeck, Brett Favre's former understudy and backup, is at the controls for Seattle. A date with the Eagles on the line next Sunday. Tie game, and the pass is incomplete for Mealy. The first touchdown of the day left the hand of Brett Favre and ended up in the hands of Bubba Franks. But then on the deflection, Hutchinson the catch to set up 4th and goal, and Alexander in. That tied it, then Alexander from a yard out is in to put Seattle up by 7. But then going back to the running game, the feature of this offense that has brought the Packers to this point, a big first down on a 4th down and a touchdown run by Amon Green to tie it. 2nd and 10. Blitz coming. Hasselbeck fires high for Robinson.
The Packers are lucky. He blew a coverage on that one, ran right by Mike McKenzie and had a chance for a touchdown.
Yeah, and Green Bay brings pressure off the edge. And you're right, they turn him loose, and he's got, it might be a touchdown right there to Corn Robinson. If they're able to get the ball in his hands, Matt Hasselbeck makes one of the few poor throws in this game, throws it up his upfield shoulder. Unable to get it to him, but man, if he was able to catch that one, he probably scores.
3rd down and 10. Hasselbeck fires down the sideline. It's tipped and incomplete. What a play. Bannister, the intended receiver, and it was McKenzie back there.
Oh, my goodness. McKenzie almost blew the last one by letting the receiver go right past him, and now he comes back, bad toe and all, and is just going to make a game saver right here. He gets fooled on the play action and somehow just flips backwards over his left shoulder and gets a finger on that ball to save a big, big play.
Almost looked like Seattle got away with a false start at the beginning of that play. Then the incompletion, and it's a quick 3 and out. This appears to be a false start on Seattle.
False start.
27 offense. 5-yard penalty, still full time.
Willie Williams, the veteran cornerback, guilty.
And every yard lost is critical when you're talking about field position and how important that is. And it's very difficult to be punting in the weather that we have here today as a critical false start.
Guy used to punt in Denver, used to the cold, Ruin waiting for it. Line drive, duck. Chapman on a hop. Antonio Chapman. Bannister, a Pro Bowl special teams player, there to save it for Seattle. But at the 49-yard line, the Green Bay Packers will take over. Lucci with a big block on the return. 21 yards from Antonio Chapman. There's the block. Great field position for the Pack when we come back.
Multifunctional, adaptable, retractable. It's a sport utility with more utility. The new GMC Envoy XUV. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to. GMC Professional Grade Engineering.
Introducing Subway's new Atkins-friendly wraps, like the savory chicken bacon ranch wrap and the turkey and bacon melt wrap. Packed with all the delicious taste you'd expect from Subway, but with under 11 net carbs. They'll help you satisfy your low-carb goals. As for your other goals, like avoiding your in-laws indefinitely, well, there you're on your own. The new Atkins-friendly wraps from Subway. Good, so you don't always have to be.
Yo, Pete! Check it out, man. I'm so ready for the game. Chips, dips, this sub's bigger than your head. You ready for the game? Yeah, you could say that.
Get ready for the game at Gateway. Our plasma is the #1 selling in the country because of people who have more brains than money. They start at under $2,500 after purchase of wall mount kit and mail-in rebate. Get in at Gateway now for 0% financing on select plasmas.
This NFC wildcard game on Fox is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
The Seattle Seahawks during the regular season led the NFL in punt return coverage teams, averaging only 4.8 yards per return against them. That was the longest of the season. 21 yards by Chapman to take it out to the 49. A toss to Green. Breaking tackles, he turned that into a 3-yard gain.
How good was the move by Antonio Chapman? Watch Willie Williams coming right out here in the corner of your screen. Yeah, it happened a little bit before that there, guys. We got to see the block one more time. No, that was all right, Troy, right? Brett Favre liked it.
Look at the reaction by Favre, who's saying, just give me a chance. There's the move right in the center of the picture. It forced Williams down to his knees, and now it's 2nd down and 7. Gun to the sideline. And who's waiting for it? Green. Brought down just shy of 1st down yardage.
Pretty good indicator right there of the arm strength of Brett Favre. And I know that there's been people here in recent years that have believed that Brett Favre has started to lose it a little bit. And I completely disagree. I mean, this guy, not only does he still have the arm strength to make a throw across the field like that one right there, but he still has good mobility and can make people miss, and has had a heck of a year all season long.
Less than a yard shy of a 1st down. Barry. An extra tackle is in the block. And they hand off to Davenport. It depends on the spot, but it looked like Davenport got enough for the 1st down. If not, he was brought down right at the marker. We'll see where they place it.
You know, this offensive line now begins to assert themselves a little bit, and they have been so unbelievably good this season. Just 19 sacks they've allowed. That's the fewest in any 16-game season. 5 200-yard rushing days.
First they said 4th down. Now they're going to call for the chains to come out. And it looks like Davenport just got back to the line of scrimmage. So they're going to be maybe even less than half a yard shy, but it certainly looks to be 4th down here. Kukar is going to call for the chains to make sure.
And it looked like Sherman had already made his decision to send the punter out there if this is short.
Yeah, he did, Chris. He had sent Josh Bidwell out in the punt team. A little bit surprising. I thought that they may go for it here.
See if he changes his mind. He does. Sherman changed his mind, and Bidwell will come back to the delight of this all-time record crowd at Lambeau Field.
Well, remember now, twice on 3rd and 1, we've seen Seattle stop them. They need another one. If they were to stop them here, boy, would it change the momentum of this game.
Lowered his head. Did he get there? The officials coming in are marking it as if it would be a first down. They mark it inside the 41. That should be good enough for a first down.
Guy right there was the one that marked it initially, and I think he made a good mark.
Well, you look at the right foot of the head linesman there, number 26. That's where they're marking it, and comparing that to where our line is at the 41. That should be a first down. It is.
So many times defenses will follow the fullback, and that time a little misdirection out of the Green Bay Packers.
The ball came out.
The ball comes out at the very end of the play, and with the officials, I guess in essence giving forward progress, they mark it good enough for a first down right at the 40, and now Bernie Kukar is going to come over and talk to Mike Holmgren.
But it won't matter, because once the whistle blows, the play is dead. They're really...
If in fact the whistle had blown, I think that's what they're trying to talk with Holmgren about. Yeah, if forward progress had stopped and they blew the whistle, then it's irrelevant about the ball coming out. Otherwise, then they would get the ball would be placed where it was recovered, which would then be Seattle's football.
So the question is, when did the whistle blow? Was the play blown dead? Forward progress was given for a first down. And the crowd gets on Mike Holmgren for asking for a conference, but who can blame him?
See, I think once he gets pushed back initially, that's when the whistle got blown, and then the fumble occurs as he tries to get back up. But he clearly had the first down with the initial thrust, and I believe that's what the officials are going to tell Mike Holmgren, that that's when the whistle blew.
Well, that's the only thing they can tell him, Chris. Otherwise, it's Seattle's football. I mean, there's nothing you can dispute as to when the whistle has been blown. That does not come into play when reviewing a play.
And remember, that was a 4th down carry. So if they stop him, wherever the ball was recovered behind this forward progress spot, which would be the 40, Seattle would take over. But the call will stand as Kukar's explanation to Mike Holmgren doesn't satisfy Mike. Let's listen. Possible to tell on that replay is Javon Walker, now that play resumes, has enough for another Green Bay first down inside the 30. And what a game for Javon Walker here today in his effort against Seattle.
Yeah, it really has been, because we talked about the injuries that these receivers came in with. He's been hampered with hamstring and knee injuries all season long, nagging injuries, and yet he's been able to come out without little practice this week and has done a heck of a job and has been a key contributor in this ball game.
Davenport is the tailback on first down. And Najee gets the carry and again pushes the pile to the 25.
And this is another one of those moments in the game where the Seattle defense has to be able to step up and make a play and stop Green Bay and keep them from going in and scoring a touchdown.
And you have to think they're right about that marginal area here as to whether or not they can make a field goal with the winds and the cold, and probably a 40 to 45 yard field goal would be about the maximum. Right now it would be about 42, 43.
2nd down and 6. Pass complete to Driver. He's down to the 20. A yard shy of a first down. Lucas on the stop.
And while they keep this drive going, both running the football and completing passes, they're taking valuable time off the clock. They got to keep that in mind. Seattle's got to keep that in mind as they move through the remainder of this drive and see what kind of position they are going to be in. Could be that Seattle's going to have one more possession if they continue to take the clock down on this possession here.
A big 3rd and 1. They hand it Davenport, and he made it look easy. First down at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, why not? You got a Pro Bowler and Marco Rivera at the right guard position. Just go right behind the big guy. And the reason the Green Bay Packers lost to the Atlanta Falcons last year was simply because this offensive line was decimated. This year, they came in here, they're healthy, they're ready to go, and right now in the 4th quarter, as they have done all season long, they're beginning to take over the game.
But the job done by Mike Wall, pulling on that play, getting over and delivering a big block.
Been doing it all day.
Amon Green right up the gut. Lost his footing. A yard shy of another first down.
I want you to take a look at Mike Flanagan, the center on this one. We're talking about individual guys. Mike Flanagan's just going to simply drive his guy right back. Anytime in the NFL you can take somebody and plow them 5-6 yards dead sideways and open up that kind of hole, there's just no way. You can't play. You can't defend that.
Again, 71, Troy Kevin Berry is in as an extra big body along that offensive line on 2nd and 1. They stay on the ground. It's Amon Green. And he's got another first down.
Well, there's no question that this offensive line is getting pushed, and they're driving Seattle's defensive front off the ball. And anytime you get that kind of movement, you're going to pick up big yards. And this group up front, these 5 guys, unlike last year, not one of these guys missed a game this season. And when you're able to play with that kind of continuity, you're going to have success. And each guy is a major contributor to the success of Amon Green.
They didn't know what they were going to have at the tackle spot coming into the season because of injuries and guys rehabbing. Clifton, Tauscher, both have played and played extremely well. Behind their blocking, Green is down inside the 2. And now Mike Holmgren is going to spend one of the 3 remaining timeouts. We'll take a break. The running game featured this season, this drive for the Green Bay Packers.
Introducing the first SUV with a power sliding rear roof.
Whoa.
The new GMC Envoy XUV. Professional grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
What if the NFL was on demand? NFL on demand. Every play, every player, every game on demand. The Ice Bowl. The Ice Bowl. The guarantee. The drive, the catch, the
Immaculate reception?
Yeah, the immaculate reception. Let's call the NFL. We're gonna be rich.
They're already working on it.
They are?
Yeah.
Well, that's a buzzkill.
Fox tonight. Can Hank catch the credit card thief who's robbing him blind?
Where is that jackass?
Shut up! Bah! An all-new King of the Hill. Then the babies are taking over Springfield.
Give Daddy the remote. Go!
On an all-new Simpsons. And what's Jordan been learning at the barber shop?
Oh, grape juice. You know what they say. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
All new Bernie Mac. After that, it's Hal versus Lois in a gastronomic showdown.
You are going down, Hank. We'll see there.
And an all-new Malcolm. Plus, Michael's family is up to their old tricks, and Buster's got a secret love nest.
Mom, you're ruining our fort.
An all-new Arrested Development. It all starts at 7/6 Central tonight on Fox.
It has been a charmed run for the Green Bay Packers, winning all 4 games in December. getting into the playoffs because of that completion to Poole from McCown to knock out the Minnesota Vikings with no time left on the clock in Week 17. And now here they are knocking on the doorstep, trying to take the lead. They do. Amon Green. Green Bay back on top.
Somewhere Irv Favre is watching a heck of a ball game.
2 minutes, 44 seconds remaining. Brett Favre has said he never believed in that stuff until what's happened the last couple of weeks with the game he had in Oakland with a heavy heart, and then what happened at the end of the game out in the desert to allow the Packers to get into this tournament, as everybody's calling it these days. And it's that offensive line allowing Amon Green to get into the end zone, and the fullback block from Nick Lucci.
Yeah, Nick Lucci, they run the play that they've been running throughout this series to gain yards. They got Mike Wall pulling around. They got William Henderson in there at fullback along with Nick Lucci. And those three guys being lead blockers, and Amon Green does what he does best, finds the crease and gets it in the end zone.
Chris, I don't know if the casual fan believes, maybe even Packer fans or announcers when they say it, that this Green Bay offense no longer is centered around number 4. He's still a huge weapon. He's still there if needed. But they are first and foremost this season, more than at any time since he's been here, a running football team.
Yeah, and I would agree with that all the way up until today. And I think because Seattle came in with that plan that they're going to take away the running game. They're going to make Brett Favre beat them. And you know what? Brett Favre today has been nothing short of spectacular.
That may be, but they've had 3rd and 1s, they've had 4th and 1s.
Right.
They've had short yardage situations where it hasn't been play action. It's been hand the ball off and go straight at the defense. Maurice Morris.
Morris on the return.
Out across the 30. Mike Flanagan is not only the center for the Green Bay Packer offense, but he is also the man in charge of crowd control. Prior to that touchdown run by Amon Green.
He's trying to get everybody to relax, and then shortly thereafter we saw Brett Favre on the sidelines trying to rally the defense so that they can come out here on this drive and make the stop and win the game and put it away.
Well, you know, the reason Brett Favre is who he is because he could do what he just did in that situation. Matt Hasselbeck wants to be Brett Favre. It's time for him to deliver one of those drives.
Quick setup and throw, and it's Robinson who slides down after a gain of 8.
Sean Alexander was telling us yesterday that anytime we hear Matt Hasselbeck come in the huddle and crack a joke, we know he's about to get hot. Good time for a one-liner.
A yard and a half shy of a first down. The Seahawks needing to get it into the end zone. Hasselbeck fires. It's complete to Jackson. He is smacked by Sharper, but not until Jackson got 15.
And I like what Seattle did after the first completion. They realize they've got plenty of time on the clock. They go back to the huddle. They call the play. And now there's still plenty of time with 2 timeouts remaining.
2 timeouts left. 2 minutes left. Seattle on the move, down 7.
This NFC wildcard game on Fox is brought to you by Saturn, makers of the highly adaptable View, stylish midsize L300, and the fun-to-drive Ion.
The meeting's at 8. We got 5 minutes to get there. Go around this guy. He's not even moving.
With the class-leading 250 horsepower V6 engine, the Saturn View can get you to the meeting on time. Unless you turn on the 6-speaker stereo. Get 0% APR financing for 5 years on most new 2004 Saturn View models. See your retailer for details.
Holding, number 54, Yellow. No, I don't have a minute. Yes, I am happy with my long distance carry. Well, do you, a free phone? Roaming charges? No roaming charges. That's great because I travel a lot.
4 Flicks?
Yeah, you know, you can only get that DVD here. Get you front and center for the Rolling Stone shows. Hey.
Get 4 Flicks, the ultimate live Rolling Stones concert DVD box set, exclusively at Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours.
The Subway postgame show is coming up immediately following the end of the action here at Lambeau Field.
And Joe, I know one of the things Mike Holmgren likes to do whenever he crosses a 50-yard line, he likes to take a shot down the field and try to score. We'll wait and see if he tries it here.
That's tipped and incomplete. Cledius Hunt got his hands up.
One of the things we've seen out of the Green Bay Packers in their improved play and defense over the second half of the season is the pressure. They've been getting more of a pass rush. They've been blitzing more. They've been taking a few more chances. Just wonder in this situation if they're willing to dial up a blitz.
Hasselbeck down the middle of the field. The pass is caught by Ingram. Down inside the 10.
Joe, unbelievable throw on that play by Matt Hasselbeck. They go to an empty set offense, 5 receivers out, and it was great coverage as well. Bobby Ingram right here in the slot position, and he's just running vertical. Perfect throw by Matt Hasselbeck and a heck of a catch by Bobby Ingram.
Seattle just called a timeout, which now they've got the ball at the 8. Time isn't that big of a factor for Seattle. And you call a timeout, you may end up getting in the end zone and then giving Brett Favre a chance to come back the other way.
That's a great point, Joe. It really is. But I personally love to watch guys like Bobby Ingram, those punt returners that have the nerve in them that any situation doesn't bother them. I'm telling you, if you can field a punt in the National Football League with those guys screaming and yelling around you, playing receiver is relatively easy. But what a clutch play right there by Bobby Ingram.
I'll tell you what, you got to wonder if maybe the only reason, Joe, they called the timeout was to get different personnel on the field.
First down and goal. Hasselbeck chased by KGB. Incomplete.
Sometimes after a long pass like that, Joe, you don't have the time. The clock's running down and you have to call a timeout in order to keep from getting a delay of game penalty. But Matt Hasselbeck was quick to pull the trigger on the timeout. There's KGB there running him down, putting the pressure on Matt Hasselbeck. But there is still plenty of time on the clock, and the last thing you'd want to do is score and give the ball back to Brett Favre with a lot of time on the clock left still.
Obviously, Green Bay has all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
And obviously 4 down territory, so you have 3 more plays.
Just got it away, and Alexander on a toss. Hit first by Sharper. Third down and goal.
Grady Jackson again. He's come up so big. That's an understatement. And for Brett Favre, he pulled the magic. You just can't imagine what's going through his mind right now. He says he thinks of his dad every minute of every day, every play in a football game. What he must be thinking here.
Not even up on his feet, sitting on the bench while his former backup Hasselbeck tries to tie it. Over the middle, his receiver fell down, and they'll throw a flag. Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker, was back there, and Tulamili was the intended receiver, and they throw a flag in the end zone.
And it's a good call. Right here, he's going to come up and going to get the contact well beyond the 5 yards. Even if it's not pass interference, it's illegal contact, but they do call the pass interference and put it on the 1.
And a great job.
56 defense. The ball occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed on the 1 yard line. First down.
Really great job by Matt Hasselbeck recognizing it. It didn't even appear like he was throwing the ball at him until he saw that there was in fact contact in order to draw the pass interference flag.
That was a 3rd down throw, by the way, so the pass interference not only puts it at the 1, but gives Seattle a 1st down again. Handoff is to Alexander, and he is in for the score. His 3rd of this half.
Well, you just can't say enough about what Matt Hasselbeck has done out here today. To come into Lambeau Field, where he played, where he was a backup, he was on the practice squad 2.5 minutes ago, and he simply marches his football team down the field at Lambeau Field, matching Brett Favre touchdown for touchdown. What a game this has been.
Favre getting ready to go back to work. Anybody who's paid attention to the NFL this season knows that even extra points should not be taken for granted. Tie game in Green Bay with 51 seconds remaining. For the Seattle Seahawks, it's been a while. 6,952 days since their last playoff victory. December 22nd, 1984. It came at the Kingdome over the Raiders. And there's that play, Chris, that we were watching last night. Kenny Easley making it to ice the victory, a 13-7 win, and it's been 19 years since that playoff win by the Seahawks, the longest current drought in the NFL.
You know, I was talking to Mike Holmgren last night after all the meetings were over, and I was asking him about developing these 2 quarterbacks, because right now Mike Holmgren has been the guy that has developed 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league in Brett Favre and Matt Hasselbeck, and he really breaks them down, almost a taming of the shrew kind of thing. And you could tell he almost felt a little guilty about it. You know, sometimes I know I was too hard on those guys and I beat them up too much, but these are the kind of situations I wanted to get them ready for. And to see both of these guys respond in the way they have in these clutch situations, it has to be a certain level of pride for Mike Holmgren on both sides.
I don't think there's any question. I think Matt Hasselbeck has to be extremely proud of the way he's been able to come out here on the road, as you mentioned, and have the game that he's had as well.
From inside the 10, it's Davenport. Still on his feet and knocked down across the 28. So 45 seconds remain. And Brett Favre and this Green Bay offense will go to work with 3 timeouts left.
And if anybody could do it, old number 4 is the guy. I mean, as you mentioned, he's got 3 timeouts, and there's still plenty of time on the clock. With 45 seconds, it's very easy for this team to be able to get the ball in a position to try to come away with a field goal attempt.
Trying to set up a screen. Amon Green is tripped up and brought down at the 35-yard line. D.D. Lewis on the tackle, and it's Lewis who's playing in place of the injured Chad Brown.
I'm always just marveling at the play of the offensive guards for the Green Bay Packers. The way they can get out and pull and move and lead those screens. Mike Wall, a former wide receiver, playing guard. Marco Rivera going to the Pro Bowl. So much of the success, I believe, of this football team has been the mobility of this offensive line. They get out and run like linebackers.
And I'm sure it came as a shock to nobody that the first play was a screen pass to Amon Green. Spending their first time out, the Packers come to the line, facing second down. Quick throw, and the pass is complete to Ferguson. First down out across the 40. And Brett Favre, after initially trying to get everybody to the line in a hurry, says, Let's use our second timeout.
Yeah, now they're down to one timeout left, and they're going to have to start trying to force the issue a little bit and get the ball down the field. And if you're Seattle defensively, you got to do exactly what Ken Lucas did on that play, as if keep the ball in front of you and then make the tackle if they make the catch.
It would be worthwhile if we could to tell you which way the wind is blowing and if the Green Bay Packers right now are playing with the wind. But it has no doubt swirled around Lambeau Field all day, and it would be difficult, very difficult to say with certainty that the Green Bay Packers right now are working with the wind.
Well, that, and you consider the fact that these kickers have been on the sidelines throughout the game, and it's cold and trying to stay warm, and Ryan Longwell, you know, in addition to kicking in the weather.
That blue line, the area that the Packers need to get to for a Longwell field goal attempt, and here's a completion to Javon Walker. He gets it to the 30. Farr getting everybody up to spike it. Javon Walker with a tremendous capper to a fantastic day for the Packers.
And it was a good decision by Brett Favre not to burn the last time out and clock the ball. Now they still have one timeout. They can run the ball. They can try to get a few more yards to get closer for the field goal attempt. But the one thing you didn't want to have happen is for the Green Bay Packers to pick up a big chunk of yards on that play, and yet that's what Seattle gave up.
The only way you can run that route down the field, that far down the field, 20, 25 yards, is if you have an unbelievable offensive line. They held that protection for at least 4.5, 5 seconds. Credit those guys for getting it done.
It would be roughly a 48-yard field goal try from here. They hand it to Amon Green. And now they'll have to spend their final timeout and hope that Ryan Longwell can kick them to Philadelphia.
Well, and as we've been talking about, we know that this is no gimme. I think they were hoping to pick up a little bit more yards on that play than what they got. But this is going to be, what, a 46, 47-yard attempt.
The career long for Ryan Longwell, 54 yards. His season long, 50 yards. And there's the field goal unit from the kick center to the holder, Peterson, the backup quarterback, to Ryan Longwell, who could become an instant hero. And Seattle now will call a timeout and try to ice, which is almost redundant on a day like this, Ryan Longwell. Longwell is the career points leader for the Green Bay Packers and has 182 career field goals coming into this game, the most in Packers history. And this would literally send the Green Bay Packers on to Philadelphia for a date next Sunday with Donovan McNabb and the Eagles.
Longwell 6 for 10 beyond 40 yards this season, but obviously most of those not kicking in these kind of conditions, either the pressure or the cold or the wind.
47-yard try coming up. He's 2 for 2 today. He's hit from 31 and 27. Good snap, good hold. The kick is short. Regulation, and this kick, which falls a few yards short of the crossbar.
And we talked about it earlier in the ball game. You just simply cannot kick this cannonball more than about 45 yards. That was a good kick. There was nothing wrong with it. He hit it well. These conditions just not allowing that ball to travel.
Well, and you saw the expression on Brett Favre's face. Twice he put him down there. He drove him down earlier before regulation and got the touchdown. He gets him back down here now with a chance to win at the end of regulation, and they come up short.
You know, it's one of those things that you almost now, as the Seattle Seahawks, have a little momentum going into overtime, because you know the Packers are thinking, all right, we make this kick, we go home, we go on to Philadelphia, all those things, and it's the Seahawks that are jumping around now and have the emotion. and have all that on their side.
Well, you can see Hasselbeck is having a tough time fighting back a smile as he heads out to midfield.
He gets to see Brett Favre again.
More time with Hasselbeck and Favre. The overtime rules in the playoffs. 3 timeouts per team. All replays initiated from upstairs.
It's a whole new ball game. We're starting all over from scratch, just like the first quarter. You're the visiting team. Who's going to call the coin? What do you call?
I'd like to call heads.
Heads is called.
Look at him. He's laughing.
Heads! Seattle has won the toss.
We want the ball. We're going to score.
Oh, boy. How about that from Matt?
Seattle's won the toss. We'll receive.
His good day continues with calling heads, but then at the end you hear him, and that was over the PA system here at Lambeau Field, saying we want the ball and we're going to score.
That was great.
Awfully confident, the 28-year-old here in Green Bay. He wants to beat the Packers and head off to Philadelphia.
Great hops make great beer.
Congratulations! You've launched the pink slip virus. Your office is now infected. They'll soon trace it back to you. Good luck finding a new job. Congratulations!
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest Airlines Internet Specials for just $39 to $99 when you purchase by January 19th, only at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
Fox Laugh Out Loud Sunday. The babies are taking over Springfield.
Give Daddy the remote. Oh.
An all-new Simpsons. Then, what's Jordan been learning at the barber shop?
Oh, grape juice. You know what they say. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
All-new Bernie Mac. It all starts at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox. Television's biggest phenomenon returns.
He's going to blow America away.
A new season of American Idol this January on Fox.
Mike Holmgren came into this season for Seattle after having taken over with the Seahawks 6 weeks after they dedicated Mike Holmgren Way here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Under 500. He'd been to the playoffs once. That was in his first season. But there were questions as to whether he was the right guy in Seattle. He had some of his power taken away when they brought in a GM, Bob Ferguson. And now he could come into Lambeau Field and beat the Green Bay Packers. This is Morris. He crosses the 30. And he is going to be brought down at the 33-yard line, which is where Matt Hasselbeck and company will start with it. Brett Favre getting a fresh tape job on that broken right thumb. He is wearing the splint today. Thought he might go without it a couple of days ago. But because of the conditions, it being as cold as it is, and I think in some respects that's a security blanket for him. All he can do now with that freshly taped thumb is watch. Matt Hasselbeck saying we want the ball and we're going to win. We'll find out. Alexander got one.
Little surprise there. Every time that we've seen the Seattle Seahawks take off and have a good drive, one at the beginning of the game, to start the second half, they came out and were very aggressive, came out throwing the football, and yet here in overtime they come out with a first down run.
2nd down and 9.
Well, they go to the empty set here, and they've had a number of success when they've gone to this set today.
Hasselbeck fires, and it was nearly picked off as Ingram had stopped. And it was Niall Diggs who had the ball dig in right at his feet.
Oh, that was so close, Joe. Bobby Ingram, you're supposed to, as a wide receiver, read the defense. He saw the zone, so he sat down, but by that time Hasselbeck had already pulled the trigger Really lucky that one wasn't picked.
3rd down and 9.
Comes the blitz.
They come. The pass. Bannister made the catch. The ball pops out. No signal from the officials yet. Still no signal. Everybody waiting to see who gets the football. Green Bay.
Wow. Green Bay brings the blitz. Hasselbeck recognizes it. He throws the ball to the slant, but Green Bay does a great job of making the tackle and not allowing him to get the necessary yardage for the 1st down. Bannister's got the ball. He's trying to stretch it out to pick up the 1st down. I think he's down.
I do too. We're going to get a review on that.
His elbow was on the ground prior to the ball coming out.
It would be a booth review.
If that elbow or forearm hits the ground before the ball comes out, it is down.
And now here comes a booth review.
No question about it.
Here's the other question, though, guys. And I would agree with you that this looks like Seattle should maintain possession, but then it would depend on the spot.
The ruling on the field.
Because where Bannister came down was awfully close on a 3rd down and 9 play to a 1st down. It looked like he may have been a little short, and this could just be the difference between 4th down Seattle and a punt coming up, a 1st down for Seattle. But I think we all agree that the Seattle Seahawks should get the ball back.
No question. And let's remind everybody that once you review a play, the entire play then is reviewable. So not only will they be reviewing whether or not the ball came out prior to being down by contact, they'll also be reviewing, as you mentioned, where the spot of that ball is going to be.
Right now, they've got the ball spotted at the 43-yard line. It was very close to 1st down yardage. I thought initially when the linesman ran in that Bannister was short, not by much, but short of 1st down yardage. I don't know what your opinion on that is.
I thought he was too, Joe. When he came in, if they had stopped him at the point of progress, I too felt that he was short of collecting the 1st down.
Now, have they flipped the chains already? Can you tell? I think they did.
They've changed. They've flipped the chains right now.
So that won't help them any at all. They're going to have to go strictly off of what's going on in the replay monitor for this mark.
So this could be a rather lengthy delay here.
Aren't they all?
Well, they all are, and this one is obviously vitally important to the outcome of this game potentially, and we'll see as we look at the catch. The sure tackle by McKenzie, and that shouldn't be lost in it, with people questioning his tackling ability. The ball pops out. It looked like he was down, and then the question is, where should the ball be placed?
Right, the ball pops forward in essence, so it's about 2 or 3 yards now further than where it would have been marked if he were ruled down. So I don't think it was really even close to a 1st down. Would have been right about the top of the 0 there. I think it's about as far as he ever gets with this ball. Maybe a little bit more than that, yeah.
Well, they needed to get to the 43-yard line for a 1st down. And if that's the case, and that's what we're being told, Bannister was brought down short of 1st down yardage, especially when that ball hit down right at the top of the 40, which would place it basically at the 42, about a yard shy of 1st down yardage. And if that is the case, then it would be 4th down and 1.
Yeah, and I think right now, if you're Seattle, you're just hoping the right ruling is made and that it was not ruled a fumble, and so you can at least punt. Now, in the event that they go back and they clarify it and they say that, well, the ball was where it's going to be placed, then is a 1st down, and that's just an extra bonus. But right now, Seattle's just looking to get the ball back so that they can punt it and play field position.
You know, at best, it's about the 42-yard line. That's about as far as you could possibly mark that thing. And that would leave you at least a yard short. And I think Mike Holmgren would punt the football, don't you?
I think you'd have to, yeah.
Because they really haven't had much success today running the football at all, averaging just 2.6 yards per carry. I think he'll punt it, take his chances.
And the only reason I guess you wouldn't is the way that Green Bay has moved the ball the last 2 times they've had the ball, both running the ball and throwing it. And if you feel your defense is tired, maybe you take a gamble, you roll the dice and see if maybe you can't pick it up on 4th down.
After reviewing the play, the receiver elbow was down on the ground, then the ball came out. It will be 4th down. 4th down on the 42-yard line.
So that is exactly where they put it. The 42, it's a yard shy of a 1st down, and the punting unit will come onto the field for the Seahawks, getting ready to punt it to the Packers. So I think all the way around that was the right call. A, that the Seahawks keep the ball, and B, where it was placed. And now with Chapman waiting deep, the Packers are about to get it back.
And I want you to think where this game would be today without instant replay. I know a lot of people are opposed to it. The Packers would have had a touchdown on that tuck rule that was ruled, and now this one as well. So instant replay certainly a positive for this ball game.
Yeah, for this game, but there's been a lot of other games, Chris, over the course of this season that you could argue that it has not, in fact, been good for the game.
I'm never going to convert you, am I?
No. No. Although I am happy they got it right there.
And now we'll get another conference as the line judge.
For the timer, please put 14-12 on the scoreboard clock. 14-12.
They're going to put 8 seconds back on the scoreboard clock. But we're not going to play to a tie today, Troy. I know that. So the 8 seconds is what it is. Good punt by Ruin. Chapman. Good return by Chapman. Made the most out of it. Gets out to the 26. And now it's Brett Favre's turn. And Chapman's injured.
You know, everything is just so elevated right now. Every running back, every punt returner is thinking, hold on to the ball. Don't make the big interception. Don't make the mistake. Because one mistake here essentially gives the game to the Seattle Seahawks.
See what's happened. The home team has won 5 of the last 6 playoff overtime games since 1992. Blitz coming, and that was tipped, I believe, by Woodard. And as he got his hands up, he may have just saved a big play.
You got that right, Joe, because Seattle was bringing the blitz opposite of where Brett Favre was throwing this screen pass, and had they have been able to get the ball into Ahman Green's hands, they had linemen out in front of him and not a whole heck of a lot of defenders out there to make the play. You take a look at what he would have gotten in behind. They had a body for a body right there. He could have gone a long way.
How about Ray Rhodes dialing up a blitz on 1st down? I didn't think he was going to have the nerve to try it.
On 2nd down, Favre looks back to this side of the field, just throws it up, and nearly completes it to Ahman Green. For at least the 4th time today, Brett Favre just threw it up and hoped that his player would make a play on it. Green got his hands on it, could not complete the catch.
Every once in a while, it's good to have a Harvard guy around. Isaiah Kaczynski that time stayed backside, stayed on his assignment, and didn't give it up. Anytime all the momentum goes away from you, so easy to call back in the other way. What a great play by him.
Harvard or not, Ahman Green dropped a heck of a pass right there.
Pass is swung out to Fisher. And it's Springs making the stop. Left earlier with a sprained knee. He's back in to make the stop at the 31-yard line. And now time after a 3-and-out for a Green Bay punt.
And that's what Seattle has not done earlier in the ball game, is make the tackle and keep Green Bay from picking up 1st downs. That time they kept the runner in front of him. Comes up, Springs does, makes the play, and forces the punt.
See what Ingram has done. As a punt returner, 2 touchdowns in his career, 1 this season. A knuckleball. It takes a Green Bay bounce. And it is down inside the 35. They'll mark it at the 34.
I think Brett's yelling that he touched it. Somebody touched the ball out there. That's the second time today that we've seen Chikeo Kiefer come all the way around the backside and hit Brett.
I'll tell you what.
Back the leg.
Yeah, that could have drawn a foul there. I mean, he definitely went low on Brett Favre.
Take a look at what Favre and some of the fans were screaming that it was touched by Seattle. And it was not. From their own 34. Second possession for Hasselbeck. That's dropped. Another drop, and it's Ingram guilty this time.
Well, this time Ed Donatel decides to bring the pressure. Seattle's in 3 wide receiver, 2 back set, and they do throw the ball. And again, another drop by one of these wide receivers. And if Seattle does not go on to win this ball game, they're going to be on this plane headed west, and they're going to be thinking about the opportunities that they missed out on just by the simple fact of not catching the football.
And you talk about playoff experience and what it means. The pressure of this moment is incredible, and Seattle doesn't have many guys that have been there.
8 drops today for Seattle. This is a completion out to Robinson just across the 40. A 3.5, 4 yards shy of a first down.
Well, third downs are so critical, particularly in a big ball game, and Seattle for the most part today has done a great job. They're converting 43% on third downs, and this is another big one right here.
If I have to guess, I'm saying Atula Mealy right here.
3rd and 4. Hasselbeck fires, and the pass is complete for a first down.
He tried to get it to Mealy. On the first look, wasn't comfortable with what he saw, with all kinds of pressure in his face. Goes backside to Jackson. You know, Hasselbeck, in some ways, Troy, just beyond his years in this.
Well, I was going to say, Chris, what we're seeing is a young man develop right in front of our eyes in this ball game today. You see him playing with more and more confidence. We saw him come out for the coin toss, the smile. He had confidence that they're going to come out and play well here in this overtime, and he's making the plays now.
They toss it to Alexander. Campman was first there. And Alexander gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
We talked a little bit about Aaron Campman and how smart he was. Ed Donatel was telling us his first game ever as a rookie. He was over on the sideline, and he came out at the end of the first quarter, and he said, Coach, so far in the first quarter, they've run 2 unscripted plays. He couldn't believe it out of a rookie or anybody that he was paying that much attention, was that much into the game plan, knew exactly what was going on, and smelled that one out pretty good there.
Wasn't even active that day. And it's 2nd down and 10. Hasselbeck pumps, comes back, and over the middle overthrows Jackson. A big 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Seahawks.
Boy, he had a chance. He had a chance for Darrell Jackson. He tries pumping him to the left, open up the space down the middle, and just overshoots him. One of the few bad throws, really, that Matt Hasselbeck has made here today.
This is a chance if you want to bring pressure, try and force them to throw the hot read and then make the tackle.
And that's what Green Bay's done throughout this game in 3rd and long, is they brought pressure, force them to run the hot routes, and then come up and make the tackle short of the first.
The Packers were confused defensively on what to do on 3rd down and 10, so they spend a timeout.
What a great game, huh? These 2 teams going at it with everything they have.
This is a joy, as the majority of the defense for the Green Bay Packers is over there on the sideline. Who's coming out onto the field right now? Jamal Reynolds, the guy who was a 1st-round draft pick in 2001. The Packers traded up to get him. He's been inactive the last 9 games. He's never started for the Green Bay Packers. and a guy who they used to spread way out at Florida State, now trying to make an impact in the lineup on a huge 3rd and 10.
Looks like pressure. Hasselbeck's been audible.
They're coming. The pass is picked off. Intercepted. Back the other way. The Green Bay Packers advance. Touchdown, Al Harris. Fair or not, at the end of what has been a very impressive day for Matt Hasselbeck, many of the headlines will talk about what he said at the coin flip. We want the ball and we're going to win. And he throws an interception to Al Harris for a touchdown, and the Packers are headed to Philadelphia.
Well, Joe, Matt Hasselbeck recognized the blitz. He tried checking to a route that he could get out. Al Harris knew it had to come out quick. He sat on the route, jumps the route, returns it for a touchdown, and wins the game.
And the Angels are still floating above this Green Bay Packers football team.
It has been a charmed existence for the last month plus. And Al Harris, the former Philadelphia Eagle, now with the Packers, headed back to Philly for a date next Sunday. Our producer, Richie Zients, our director, Artie Kempner, and what a job by our crew on an absolutely frigid day here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And they will celebrate long into the night as the Green Bay Packers send their former head coach, Mike Holmgren, and the Seattle Seahawks back to the Pacific Northwest with a playoff loss. Let's go down to Chris Myers. Chris.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm with Al Harris, who ran the interception back. Let's talk about the play, what you saw, and how you did it.
Man, it's all film study. Basically, the D-line, everybody gave a good rush. You know what I'm saying? Just so happened made a good read.
I mean, did you anticipate it? And then when you had it, did you know you had the end zone?
Oh, yeah. I anticipated it, and I know the quarterback ain't going to catch me.
All right, how about the performance of Brett Favre in this game, and I'm on green?
Man, they always come up big for us, and we rally behind them, and, man, we're just trying to win.
And how good is this football team?
33-27, we won.
And how far you can go? You think you can go all the way?
Well, that's what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take it one more step, look to go into Philly. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take it one game at a time.
All right, and just real quick on the performance of Matt Hasselbeck. He's a former Packer who came in here, had a pretty good game until that last moment.
Yeah, he played a good game. He's been looking good on film. He's played good all year.
All right, thanks, Al. All right, Al Harris, game-winning touchdown. Joe?
All right, Chris, thanks. For the Green Bay Packers, who were knocked out of the playoffs last year here at Lambeau Field, losing for the first time in the playoffs a year ago, the hands of the Atlanta Falcons, win today in overtime. They celebrate. We continue. Back with more after this.
Now that I can take my wireless number with me wherever I go, the question is where to take it. Maybe to the one company that lets me keep my unused minutes so that I don't get slammed with overages. And that would be
Only Singular comes with rollover, so you can keep your phone number and your unused rollover minutes.
I call it my you can take it with you plan.
Keep your number, keep your minutes. Another reason Singular fits you best. Sign up now and get 500 bonus rollover minutes.
Endless power. You'll find it in Sasha Cohen and in her Citizen Echo Drive. Fueled by light, it never needs a battery. It's unstoppable. Just like the people who wear it. Citizen Echo Drive. Unstoppable.
With a 140 horsepower engine and responsive handling, we put the fun back into the compact car, the Saturn Ion.
Finance the new 2004 Saturn Ion 1 with air conditioning and CD player for $179 a month. See your retailer for details.
Thanks. Cheers.
Some like beers don't taste like anything. Next time, try a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Good call.
Will Eric's plan to be fat and happy backfire?
Something's poking me.
I've been living on crumbs! That 70s Show, all new at 8, Fox Wednesday. A new year, a new beginning.
I know I've been a little bit, whipped. Not whipped.
TV's best new show is back. Be there when Rooney rocks the OC at 9, 8 Central Fox Wednesday.
Do you have the right truck? The 2004 Chevy Silverado now available with power packs. Get the Silverado extended cab with the light duty power pack, Vortec V8, heavy duty trailering, plus the Safe and Sound power pack, XM satellite radio, Bose sound system, and the security of 1 year OnStar Safe and Sound service. Silverado, now available with power packs. It's the right truck.
The Dolans. They decided to add a little sizzle to the night. So they ordered a new Domino's fajita loaded with juicy grilled chicken and veggies. This reminds them of the last time they tried to add a little sizzle to the night. And we all remember what happened then.
Experience the flavor of fajitas in a pizza. Buy a new medium Domino's fajita for $9.99 and get any second medium pizza for just $5 more. Get the door. It's a sizzling night from Domino's.
It's the #2 safety concern among parents and grandparents.
Find out what you can do to protect your child. Monday on Fox 46 Morning News.
The home team wins in overtime. Green Bay moving on to Philadelphia. Here again is Chris Myers.
All right, we're down on the field where the fans are still going crazy with Amon Green, and I think they're buying into this team of destiny. How about you?
I'll say I'm a believer. You know, it's just there's a game that today had to be played with heart, and because both teams wanted to win. You know, it came down to overtime and big play. You know, big players make big plays, and that's what happened.
Well, what was going through your mind in the last drive? You thought maybe the game-winning field goal. Then in overtime, they get the coin toss, and sometimes teams take it down and score.
Yeah, that was the idea. You know, before overtime, like hope we get in field goal range and kick the field goal, but we didn't. You know. Coin toss and do all that stuff, you know, go back and forth with it. Then when Al picked it off, I just like get to the end zone and score.
All right, and of course you'll go back. You'll face the Eagles, a team you saw earlier in the year, but it'll be at Philadelphia. Thought on them?
Hey, it's going to be a heck of a game, just like this one and all the games that we had this past month of December and January.
All right, good luck. All right, Amon Green, couple of touchdowns. You'll see it on Fox when they take out Philadelphia. Back upstairs.
All right, Chris, thanks, and it's been our pleasure having you with us today. Chris Myers down on the field. A 52-yard return by Al Harris won it for the Green Bay Packers, and I hope what doesn't get lost in what we saw here today, and we saw a lot here today, is the job that the Seattle Seahawks did coming in here. Mike Holmgren getting them ready, the job by Hasselbeck, but in the end, the interception, the return for the touchdown. The Packers are marching on.
Yeah, I think what Amon Green said is right, that it was a game played with a lot of heart by both teams, and it's one of those games that it's just a shame that somebody has to lose. And for Matt Hasselbeck to come in his first playoff game and play the way that he did, an exceptional ball game. Unfortunately, what he's going to remember and take from this one is the one mistake he made at the end of the game for the interception. but a real commendable effort by the Seattle Seahawks.
Chris, we look ahead. What do you expect to see next Sunday in Philly?
You know, the one issue that Philadelphia has had over the course of this season defensively is trying to stop the run, and now you bring in the NFC's best in Amon Green, so that's really going to be the ball game. Can Philadelphia hold up against this tremendous running game?
We shall find out 1 week
Can't
from today.
Be great.
That's it from us. That's all we got. Our UPS leaderboard. What can Brown do for you? Log on to foxsports.com. We remind you, Brett Favre at quarterback, it was a very good day. There were opportunities where when the Green Bay Packers needed a yard, 2 yards, big third down, big fourth down, they went to the running game and Amon Green. And then we give you our uncommon perspective, brought to you by Wachovia. Of the return, 52 yards by Al Harris, and he might as well keep on running to Philadelphia. This uncommon perspective brought to you by Wachovia. Together we can achieve uncommon results. It has been an uncommon ending to this season for the Green Bay Packers, winning all 4 in December, getting into the playoffs thanks to that last-second win by the Cardinals to knock out Minnesota. Now they get past the Seattle Seahawks. It's on to Philadelphia. That's it from here. JB, it's all yours.
Welcome to the Subway postgame show, brought to you by Subway. Good so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh.
Hey! Seattle has won the toss.
We want the ball, we're going to score.
Turn around.
Well, the confidence was high by Matt Hasselbeck, but it didn't translate on the field. They forgot to tell Al Harris. He picks it off. Smart player. Not great quickness, but boy, did he read that one well. Takes it 52 yards to pay dirt. So Green Bay, as Joe Buck has indicated, they will run their way to Philadelphia next week to take on the Eagles. Green Bay victorious in overtime, 33-27 over the Seattle Seahawks. As we welcome you to the Subway postgame show here in Los Angeles Fieldhouse. Joe Buck mentioned an excellent game by Brett Favre, and indeed it was.
Well, an excellent game by both quarterbacks on a day when, you know, with Alexander and Amon Green, teams that are relying on their running game, both
us run the football well to make them cover us one-on-one outside so I can throw the football down the field.
Play fake. Manning to James again.
14 they lost from running for 241 yards.
And how it was a great game by both teams. Seattle only the 1 turnover, and that was the game winner for Green Bay. Green Bay, you know, Seattle stopped or slowed down the running game, so they put it on Brett Favre, and Brett Favre went through over 300, did not have a turnover, and he was able to win the game. And the emotion, Mike Holmgren, I understand the emotion. When he shook hands at the end of the game, he was completely spent. You look at Green Bay jumping up and down like a bunch of little kids on the school ground. It was really an exciting game for both teams.
I've said all along, nothing like Lambeau Field and those fans up there. And I thought today the effort, this is what playoffs are all about. And having played many of those, all of us, it is the most incredible experience. And to win it on the last play of the game in overtime with a crucial mistake. And I understand Matt Hasselbeck. I see the blitz. I know it's man-to-man. But when you turn around with that football, and he's going to learn this, and I know Mike's going to prove it to him in the offseason, when you turn around, you better make sure the guy covering that guy is not settling. And Al Harris saw it, settled, and took it back. And it's hats off to Green Bay, traveling on the road now. Now they take it on the road. Now we'll see what that Philadelphia crowd's pretty cool,
Many
too.
wondered if this last month was kind of a mirage, playing on the emotion of, you know, the Brett Favre situation with the passing of his father, playing San Diego, Oakland. Denver not playing their starters in the last week of the season. Well, you know, Brett performed extremely well this month. 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
How long can this emotion carry them? They have been on an emotional high for about 3 weeks now. Now they're going to be on another emotional high at Philadelphia.
2 more games, Jimmy. They can do it easy. By the way, with respect to that look, winning in the game of life is not a bad way to go either, folks. All right, let me tell you what's coming up next week on Fox. The second season continues. Saturday, the Panthers dominating defense heads to St. Louis, where they won 14 straight at home to take on the Rams. High-powered offense, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Then on Sunday, the Packers travel to the city of brotherly love to battle the Eagles at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Philadelphia beat the Packers in Week 10 in Green Bay.
1 o'clock Pacific time. That'll be coverage of the NFC divisional playoffs beginning next weekend only on Fox Sports.
And Indianapolis has just scored. They're up 6-0 pending the extra point kick, jumping out quickly.
All right, folks, that does it for here in Los Angeles. For Jimmy Johnson, Howie Long, and what's this guy's name here?
The Rain Man.
Rain Man fell short.
Fell short today, yeah.
How many drops did they have?
And they fell short because of Al Harris. We'll see you next week, folks.
They didn't mean to.
Fox Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. The NFL is online at www.nfl.com.
The Southwest Shortcut, the fastest way to our lowest online fares, only at southwest.com.
Over the past 10 years, some of the greatest moments in all of